صباح الخير يا استاذ رامي، احنا بنرحب بحضرتك معانا في البرزنتيشن بتاعه التيم بتاع ايديتا. هم هياخدوا 10 دقائق يشرحوا البروجكت بتاعهم، وبعد كده هنفتح المجال about 5 minutes for questions and answers.
جريت، ميرسي ليكم اللي انتوا اتحتوا لي الفرصه اللي انا يعني ابقى معاكم النهارده.
ميرسي جدا يا استاذ رامي، اهلا بيك. اتفضلوا يا شباب من الاول تاني.
Okay, so our project was about Edita in specific inventory management. And this is our team, me, Basant, Mustafa, Karim, Karma, Habiba, Yusuf, Mamdouh, and Ahmad.
Okay, good morning, Dr. Ayman and Mr. Rami. I am Yusuf Darwish, and I'll be talking about Edita. Edita is a reputable leading FMCG company in Egypt and the Middle East. It is considered a fast-moving consumer goods company because their products are sold at low prices and consumed very quickly and in large volumes. Edita has a wide variety of brands and products including Molto, Todo, Bake Rolls, Mix, Ho-Ho's, Twinkies, Tiger Tail, and Fresca. Edita currently has 30 production lines with a total capacity of 160,000 tons per annum. Annum is another word for yearly or annually. Company has a very well-established distribution channels with 21 distribution centers spread across 27 governorates. The company has 57,886 wholesale and retail customers, as well as 649 distribution vehicles.
Inventory management is supervising the flow of goods from manufacturers to warehouses and from these facilities to the point of sale. It allows for the tracking of each item once it arrives in the warehouse. It confirms updated stock quantities and sends alerts when the stock is getting low. Managing inventory effectively will optimize the supply chain and can make or break the business's growth, profitability, and ultimate success. Inventory management techniques are just-in-time, minimum order quantity, ABC analysis, first in, first out, economic order quantity, drop shipping, consignment. Types of inventory are raw materials, work in process, maintenance and repairs, goods in transit, finished goods, and tools and supplies.
Here are the benefits. It has a better cash flow and control of cost, higher profits as there is no waste, prevents that due to always keeping track of the inventory, more accurate inventory orders, increase the efficiency and productivity, customer service and satisfaction, supply chain efficiency, accurate sales and demand forecasting.
Okay, now we're going to have an overview about the supply chain of Edita before COVID-19. First, the FCSOP, which stands for Standing Operating Produce and Forecasting. ده بيبقى ليه علاقة برضه بالسيلز input الماركت الانوالي والمانثلي برودكشن بتاعهم وكده. وبعد كده MRP ده بيبقى ليه علاقة بالجروس ريكوايرمنتس والكارنت ستوك التايبس اوف سبلايرز زي لوكال او جلوبال. بعد كده بيبقى البرشيزنج فيز بتبقى ليه علاقة بالفندرز ليد تايم التايم سبلاي كونتاكتس بتاعتهم. اللوجيستكس بيبقى ليه علاقة برضو بالتايم سبلاي برضو والريسيفنج رو ماتيريالز والباكجينج بتاعتهم الابروف في الكوانتيتي وكده. كده بلاننج ازاي بقى يعملوا تشيك للسيلز ديماند مانثلي ويكلي ويعملوا ازاي يسيت برودكشن بلان. واخر حاجه بتبقى الانفنتوري اوبتمايزنج اللي هي receiving raw materials و receiving package of materials. Now these are the specifics of the inventory management before COVID-19. First هم الفوركاست كانوا بيعملوا فوركاست النمبر اوف برودكتس اللي هم محتاجينها monthly و annually مع الفوركاست تيم او السيلز تيم. يقدروا يحددوا هم محتاجين قد ايه كل شهر او كل سنه عشان يقدروا يوبتمايزوا الانفنتوري بتاعتهم عشان يقدروا يطلعوا اللي هم محتاجينه. وبعدين بيقدروا يكريتوا بيل اوف ماتيريالز وكالكوليتر نت ريكويرمنتس، بيبقى بنحسب الجروس ريكويرمنت في السيفتي ستوك. وبعد كده بيديدكتوا السيفتي ستوك والستوك اون هاند from gross requirement. بعد كده if buffer quantity would occur they would inform the sales department. وعندهم lead time of local suppliers من 15 ل 30 days. وكان المفروض في global من بره اللي هو من 45 ل 60 days. وبعد كده بيعملوا logistic distribution finished material. وإديتا كانت بتعتمد على الدي اون هاند للكونسيومر بتاعها من 2 ل 3، وبعد كده المفروض بيتشينجوا. وإديتا كانت بتستخدم التكنيك اللي هو ميك تو ستوك، اللي هو بالنسبه لنا بوش استراتيجي، ان هم كانوا بيعتمدوا على ان دوت فود اندستري، فلازم الكونسيومر يبقى عنده الحاجه دايما قبل ما يطلبها عشان ما يحصلش شورتج في السوق او كده.
Okay, in this section, we're going to discuss how COVID-19 affected or impacted the inventory management in general. COVID-19 has caused a great increase in the uncertainty. So COVID-19, it also changed the priorities of businesses all over the world. Now many businesses, they did not anticipate the crisis, and therefore they did not plan enough supplies ahead of time. The effects of COVID-19 are as follows. Lead times has doubled. Uncertainty with suppliers have occurred. Air freight limitations, as well as a decreased demand in sea freight, and an increase in the back order, as well as cash flows were affected negatively.
And the long term, the impact that's going to affect businesses in general, long term, is businesses are going to be likely to seek diversification in supply chain. They would invest and use in robots instead of humans in order to avoid spreading any viruses or any like epidemics. They would adopt more conservative approaches to lean supply chains and just-in-time inventory management. They would create supply network mapping, although it's time-consuming and requires a lot of effort, but they would still do it because it's important, and many businesses just realize the importance of it now.
مرام.
Guys, your time is up.
Okay, Maram, just a question. Why would lead time help them cope with COVID-19?
Because it would tell them, basically, it's lean time is how everything, the time of everything from A to Z. I read this article that said it would help them. I'm not sure why.
You have put it as a fact. You said lean supply chain will help them.
Yeah, because that's according to the articles that we've read.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I am grateful for your effort. Is there any conclusion?
Yes, but my laptop is lagging. Can you just give me 1 minute?
Okay, Mr. Rami, if you have questions for them, please.
The presentation it's great, yani it's good effort, and they did great. Thanks a lot, yani, for the lot of information inside the presentation was very good.
Which part of inventory are you related to, Mr. Rami, please?
Here in Edita, I'm responsible for the whole logistics cycle. I'm responsible for the raw material and the packaging and finished good material, the consumable and the spare part. I'm responsible of all this type of material from receiving the material inside the factory until issuing it to the production and maintenance and quality.
Okay. So when they say that their material is the lead time has doubled, would you agree?
Yeah, sure. Because in this crisis, we are facing the curfew and a lot of restriction of inside a lot of countries. So the lead time is the time from ordering the material until you receive it inside your factory. So it's increased about 50%.
This is true for both local and import?
Yeah, but the big impact is in the import material. The local, it's about 20 to 30%, and for imported material, it's about 50%, and it could be more.
Okay, so it is not the same for both import and local. And I assume now the recommendations would have to be altered regarding depending on whether or not the material is local or not. And I am assuming that the recommendation would include something about what the future calculation of lead time would be and whether this is going to be a permanent situation or a temporary one. So I am waiting for Maram to show us. Are you ready, Maram?
هم عايزين يجو through بقية ال presentation يا دكتور. Can you go through them يا مرام?
Okay, so we stopped off here.
After COVID, this is my part. Okay, I'm gonna be brief عشان ما أخدش وقتكم. Demand طبعا due to the pandemic slightly decreased for Edita, but not as much as زي كل البيزنسز وكده عشان it's a food industry. It's a necessity لأي حد. Supplies were delayed at first, and of course uncertainty with suppliers was available because of all the pandemic and the regulations that have been occurring. However, for Edita, they managed this because they had many connections with many suppliers. They didn't depend on only one, so this was manageable. And one of the most altered factors in Edita was safety stock. They increased their safety stock up to 4 months, and days on hand and lead time increased because of demand isn't as powerful as it used to be, because Edita's main time where demand is very powerful is when universities and schools are opened, but now everything is not operating like it used to, it's decreasing. The next slide, Maroon. Okay, local sourcing, increasing local sourcing with the same output quality was something that was happening, and they increased safety stock, and they're taking more precautions. Even though they have already like hygiene precautions, they're making more rules in social distancing, wearing masks, and sanitizing. And also after, when inshallah, when all of this is over, they're going to go back to their normal inventory management plan, and they're going to ensure that everything is their people, their laborers are maintaining social distancing and using face masks and sanitizing. Okay, so in this slide, the information mentioned, they were earlier explained in the presentation, but I think the highlight is that in the before COVID-19, Edita was well prepared for any emergency, which was apparent in their safety stock. لما حصل delay في supplies وكده, they already had enough safety stock. Also, after COVID-19, they took some actions that may have led to a decrease in their cash flow, but we believe this is in order to maintain their market share in the short term and long term. Next, Maroon.
The recommendations and what we have learned. Having different supplies in our inventory to avoid being cut off. Clean and sanitize the products to prevent the spread of the virus. Have a large safety stock to be in the safe side. Make sure that suppliers can send the supplies needed in the right time, otherwise we will have to look for other supplies. Keep an eye for the most cost efficiency way to manage the inventory. Next, Maram.
Recommendations and what we learned, how to calculate the NEC requirement, the various types of inventory management techniques that depend on nature of the company. زي Edita uses the push technique. Safety stock is very crucial. It is what allowed Edita to continue production. Having good and many relationships with suppliers, local or foreign, are essential. How Edita has managed to maintain a high cash flow during the crisis. Types of inventory Edita uses in the inventory management to face COVID-19.
These are our interview questions with Mr. Rami. And Mr. Rami did not prefer that we record the interview, so we just took a screenshot on the outside, proof of that we attended the meeting.
ليه كده بس يا مستر رامي؟ بس كده هيسقطوا عشان ما تصوروش.
So this is just an outside screenshot with the people who attended the meeting, and it was with Mr. Rami Mahir, the logistics manager, and that's it, and references.
طيب أنا عندي شوية أسئلة يعني I don't know who to ask these two, but I will ask them generally, and I want the person who knows the answer to answer. أول حاجة بالنسبة للlead time. احنا الليد تايم على كلامكم انه الليد تايم اتغيرت وبقت الدبل بسبب ان الكوفيد 19 خلى ما فيش continuity في السبلاي تشين وفي a lot of uncertainties في اللوجيستكس وفي الكلام ده. بس في نفس الوقت الماركت اتغير، يعني بقى بسبب الحظر الديماند ذات نفسه قل. فهل ده سبب اي شورتج في الماركت سبلاي ولا لا؟
الكيس بتاعت إديتا يا دكتور، لما اتكلمنا مع دكتور رامي هو قال لنا لا، احنا هو الديماند اصلا تبع إديتا يعني احنا قلنا slightly decreased، هو يعتبر ما تأثرش قوي. إديتا عشان هي فود اندستري ومعروفة قد ايه برضه هي يعني موثوق فيها، فالناس لسه بتشتري البرودكتس بتاعتهم. هو بس عشان هم كان البيك بتاعهم بيبقى وقت الجامعات والمدارس، فهو ده وقف، فهم يعتبر لما دول وقفوا بس الناس لسه بتشتري العادي، فهو يعتبر برضه في سيم الديماند ليفل بتاعتهم. هم بس عاملين ليد تايم زودوه شويه يا دكتور عشان الظروف اللي احنا فيها، لو حصل اي شورتج او حاجه يقدروا يكفروا نفسهم اكتر من شهر، يقدروا يخلوها 2 و3 عشان لو حصل اي حاجه في الظروف دي. فبالنسبه للماركت فهو كان هو يعتبر بالنسبه في الكيس بتاعت انت ثابت، ففي الكيس دي ما تاثرش قوي الحوار ده. هم بس عملوا سيفتي ستوك اكتر، وده جه على حساب الكاش فلو سنه، بس عشان إديتا برضه شركه كبيره ما اثرش قوي.
طيب يا كريم، انا عايز اسال دلوقتي على حاجه انتوا ما اتكلمتوش عنها، اللي هو الكلاسيفيكيشن سيستم. انتوا ما قلتوش ايه هم الماتيريالز اللي هي classified as A specifically that is not allowed to have a shortage of.
Doctor, can you repeat the question?
Okay. In inventory management, you are supposed to know that there are different levels of values for each of the stocks in the inventory, and this is called the ABC classification. Did you mention that, or did you analyze that, and did you find out which items are classified as A, that they are not allowed to go below a certain level in their safety stock?
هو احنا ما بصراحة يا دكتور ما اتكلمناش في البوينت دي فعلا قوي، بس في الكيس برضو بتاعت إديتا سنس ان هي فود اندستري هي في شوية حاجات أساسية، بس احنا ما حددناهاش قوي زي السكر والدقيق، الحاجات الاساسيه عشان تقدر تعمل البرودكتس اللي هم بيوفروها اللي احنا منشن بيفور. فبس احنا ما اتكلمناش صراحه دكتور في حته الكلاسيفيكيشن دي.
طيب مستر رامي حضرتك عندك اي فيدباك؟
هو زي ما اتفضل قال، هو طبعا احنا عندنا بعض الماتيريال استراتيجيك ماتيريال زي السكر، الدقيق، الحاجات اللي هي مالي بتدخل في اغلبيه البرودكت، فده طبعا بيبقى كلاس اي. عندنا كلاس اي بيعتمد في الكلاسيفيكيشن بتاعته اللي هو بيبقى كوانتيتي والكوست بتاعه. فالاثنين دول بيحطوا الماتيريال لكلاس، يعني نقدر نصنف فيه الماتيريال من اي لبي وسي. البي والسي الحاجات اللي هي مش بتدخل في كل البرودكت والاس كيوز بتاعتنا، ودي بتبقى طبعا الليفل بتاع السيفتي ستوك بتاعها اقل شويه من الكلاس اي.
اوكي، ثانك يو فيري ماتش مستر رامي. لو حضرتك عندك اي اسئله ليهم او تعليقات علشان يعني ازاي كانوا ممكن يطلعوا البرزنتيشن احسن من كده او الشغل احسن من كده، يعني this is going to be very, very beneficial for them. They are not graduating yet, so they have a lot to learn.
لا البرزنتيشن بصراحه كانت حلوه، ما كنتش متوقع يعني تبقى كده بصراحه، بس هي كانت حلوه جدا. النقطه بس اللي انا يعني اخدت بالي منها الحته بتاعت ازاي بحسب النت ريكويرمنت والجروس ريكويرمنت، ممكن ادي هنت عليها عشان شفت بس يعني حد منشند اللي هي السيفتي ستوك في الجروس. هي بطريقه ثانيه هبسطها لكم، اللي هو احنا الاول بيبقى عندنا فوركاست. الفوركاست ده عباره عن كراتين السيلز هيبيعها. الفوركاست ده بضربه، بعمل مالتيبليكيشن في البيل اوف ماتيريال بتاعت كل كرتونه، يطلع لي الجروس ريكويرمنت بتاعت الخامات كلها. بعمل بعد كده ماينس للسيفتي ستوك، يطلع لي النت ريكويرمنت اللي انا محتاج اطلبه. وده بس اللي انا كنت عايز ادي هنت عليه عشان تبقى بس الفورمولا الناس اخده بالها منها يعني. لكن اوفرول
ماينس الفوركاست في البيل اوف ماتيريالز ماينس السيفتي ستوك.
الاول بضرب الفوركاست، بعمل مالتيبليكيشن في البيل اوف ماتيريال يطلع لي الجروس ريكويرمنت. بعد كده بعمل الجروس ريكويرمنت ماينس السيفتي ستوك والستوك اون هاند اللي عندي في المخزن، يديني النت ريكويرمنت. النت ريكويرمنت هو ده اللي انا باوردر، بدي بليس اوردر تو البرشيزنج عشان يجيبوا لي الماتيريال اللي انا محتاجه.
تمام، اوكي. تيك نوت اوف ذات يا شباب علشان تتسالوا عنها في الفاينل.
تمام، اوكي.
Thank you, thank you, Mr.
Thank
Rami.
you. Thank you, Mr.
for the
Rami.
great team. Good job, Mr. Rami. Thank you and for all the support that Edita has always offered جامعة النيل. احنا دايما بنجي لكم في كل سنة، بس نظرا للظروف الحالية احنا ما قدرناش غير ان احنا بس نبعت لكم الشباب عن طريق الزوم. المرة الجاية هنبعت لكم بالفاكس ان شاء الله.
انتوا يعني وار موست ويلكم دايما، يعني جامعة النيل يعني احنا بنحس ان هي بارتنر دايما عندنا، فانتوا ويلكم في اي وقت، وميرسي ليكم جدا يعني.
ميرسي جدا يا مستر رامي. Thank you girls and boys. اللي بعده يا شباب.
عن اذنكم انا هليف.
اتفضل يا مستر رامي، مع الف سلامة. شكرا وسلامنا للشباب عندكم. Stay safe.